Time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace, former Ottawa Senator Jason York, and Graham Nichols.
Happy Saturday, everybody. A little Saturday special edition alongside Jason York. I'm Brent Wallace. Nice to see you, Yorkie.
I thought we're having a fireside chat today, Wally. Isn't that how we're selling it? Saturday afternoon fireside chat.
So my point is, every year, all the big networks get to sit down with the Prime Minister, have a little fireside chat at Christmas time. So I fired up the Coming In Hot fireplace, and we are going to bring in basically the equivalent, Michael Andlauer, the owner of the Ottawa Senators. So be on your best behavior.
Oh, don't we want to be on the naughty list? Well, you're already on that list. I hear. I heard he's not happy with you. He's not happy with you.
Oh no! All right. Well, we'll see what he has to say. Without further ado, let's bring in the owner, Michael Andlauer.
Michael, am I right? Is Wally on the naughty list?
Well, I'm doing this podcast, so I don't know. Maybe it's all because of you, Yorkie. But then again, I'm a little pissed off at you too. So
what did I do?
First of all, you got I hear you're doing Calgary Flames podcast. Is that broadcast? Is that right?
Hey, listen, the offer was out there.
Yeah, you know what? I said, you know what? I mean, I would think that there's an opening here on TSN. What do you think? Hey?
Well, hey, we could always talk. We could always talk.
I know. I guess. Certainly between periods. Anyway, that's another story. Okay, let's go. And actually, Wally, I am a little peeved at you because I noticed on the opening here that you show Stützle and Batherson and Giroux and Kachuk. There's no goalie. Seriously?
It's a budget thing. We couldn't afford the photos.
Oh, come on.
We'll get it fixed. We'll get
part of the goalie union. I would like a little bit of love,
Yeah, that's right. You're an old goalie, eh? Michael, you're an old goalie.
Yeah,
Wally, what the hell?
Old is the operative word. Yeah.
Listen, I was a goalie too.
Michael, do you still play at all?
I had knee surgery right before bought the team, and I've been gaining the pounds, and I'm a little scared to get back on, to be honest with you. But I'd love to take it back, but I've got to figure out maybe a New Year's Eve resolution is my own health, and we'll go from there. I do notice that you had I don't know. I can't believe I had a time on my hand, but I watched your last podcast, and you got another goalie out there. You're hutting on the the goalies have a lot to say, even though they're
Carter Hutton's fantastic.
Yeah, he really was actually.
Okay, and Jamie McClendon's on the show a lot. He's fantastic. So
there you go.
I will get Linus Ullmark into the opening, I promise. But I will say, I thought you looked great this summer. This is the reaction basically I had when you agreed to come back on the show.
Pretty good vertical.
So I don't know. You look great.
Yeah, the shorts are a little tight.
That's the style. Yorkie can barely get his.
Oh no, I've lost my getaway sticks are done. It's I need to work in a leg day now and then.
All right, Michael, I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I got some questions. First, though, I want to ask, you did dodge the bullet of Quinn Hughes not playing against your team today in Minnesota. I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm just curious your reaction to seeing this kind of trade. Can you even comment?
Well, it's interesting. You see, the media was big on the whole thing about Quinn Hughes perhaps not being happy, wanting to go play with his brothers. I know the media is in Vancouver is pretty tough. The fans are, the great fans in Vancouver, as anywhere in Canada for that matter, and the pressure was on. And I think from a timing standpoint, I think the lessons have been learned where when you wait too long, the desire to keep Quinn Hughes was there. There's no doubt for Vancouver ownership, management, and fan base. But you got to look at the long picture, and that's losing somebody like that for nothing can be pretty devastating for a hockey club. I mean, you got to look at Calgary, for example.
Were you worried he was going to be in the lineup?
No, you know what? Bring it on. I mean, we play Vancouver. He's in the lineup when we play Vancouver. So I think at the end of the day, bring it on. I think we can beat any team at any given night if we play the right way.
I don't know if you can answer this question, and we'll move on. Were you guys had you made any inquiries as your organization towards acquiring such a player?
I mean, I think Steve is pretty active. He's on the call all the time. That he's, I look around and he'd love to be doing social functions or whichever, but he was went to Columbus, took his car, was driving. I think he's in Pittsburgh today to watch a couple of games, and I'm sure he'll be sitting down with the GMs there. He's constantly. He's 24/7, and I brought him to the Board of Governor meetings for the first time this go around, so he can network a bit more. So who knows? I mean, you saw what he did at the trade deadline last year. He's constantly thinking about this hockey club and how do we make it better?
Any scoops you want to share with us before we move on? Just
scoops.
Yeah. No,
too
okay.
cold.
We'll move on.
Too cold a day for ice cream. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. All right. You wanted LeBreton came up recently. There's a lot's going on. How far ahead are we? Any further ahead than since when you bought the land? Like, it just seems like this is such an arduous process.
It is. It really is. But it's an important. Like we have one chance to do this right, and we have to make sure that we cross the T's and dot the I's, and making sure that we don't get, and in some cases there are negotiations. I think at the end of the day, I want everybody in the same room, and if we all want this, we will, do what's right. And it's a long process, and even including, what I didn't expect was, never mind the fact that we're dealing with NCC and we're dealing with the city of Ottawa, which is a little bit difficult. Other municipalities don't have that. But I think everybody wants this. But then we're also dealing with the Algonquin nations, and which brings another dimension, and I think also good. I'm actually intrigued by this because of the history of our country and because of the role they play. And so I said it once, I've said it again. I'm just a catalyst. I just see an opportunity to do something that's right. This is not a business transaction in any way, shape, or form. This is, to me, it's I'm part of this community. I bought this team for two reasons. One was to win a Stanley Cup, first and foremost. And if you recall, if you look at all the other, bidders, their focus was on real estate. And for me, that was never the case. I just, my passion for the game, my passion for this country, and now my passion for Ottawa and Gatineau is so the second reason was to have a hockey club that would have long-term sustainability. And we know the history of this hockey club when that's concerned. So for me, that's how I roll. I look at it I focus from that standpoint. It's not about a business. It's not a business. It's a passion for me. I don't know if I just rambled on. Sorry.
No, Mike, I wanted to ask you about, because anytime I'm talking about Friends, like I'm from here, I talk to a lot of people that they always say it's
you're
the
part
Ottawa
owner as well.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is everybody always gets caught up in the Ottawa Senators, for sure, the main tenant. But when you look at the days in the year, it's going to be 42 home games now. Season's going to 84 plus. You got some playoffs and you got some. that building for the rest of the year, and I think people forget this, like the thing this city has always been lacking, when there's major concerts, they go to Toronto, they go to Montreal. We always get skipped. I'm always having like, I think people in Ottawa have to realize this is about hockey, but it's also about creating a major entertainment venue that we don't have. Like, and I think that's something that people forget.
Yeah, they forget that because, yeah, exactly that. But that, the Ottawa Senators is a community asset. And I think that's where, when I talk about long-term sustainability, it's an asset. It truly is an asset. We restarted the foundation, and, the things that we do in the community, thanks to our fans, by the way, and our corporate sponsors and the like, but like we rally. So the Senators is truly a community asset, and we got to look at it from that standpoint. I said it at the outset in my opening press conference. I don't own this team. I'm just a custodian for a period of time, and that's how I look at it. But because we will have the most of the dates in this entertainment facility. I think it's important for us to whatever, drive the bus to make this happen. But you're absolutely right, Yorkie. But this is a transformative project. There's not many cities that have that much acreage in the middle of its city, and from a revitalization initiative, it's quite transformative, and so it's not only being an entertainment destination, which is going to help, the city and the province and but also from a residential and commercial, making it a destination, which is basically, a downtown, downtown west, so I think that's the exciting part, that we got to look at it. We got to look at it. It's like what it could look like, and make this city proud to have this destination. So I'm just a catalyst. I'm just trying to do it. And will the hockey club benefit? I hope so. So that way it can be financially sustainable for years to come. We're a small market team competing against the New York Rangers, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Toronto Maple Leafs that charge 2.5 times more. And then we have the same cost base as these teams. If we want to stay competitive with our players being our largest cost. So you put all that together, and I think you're right. I think it's we should do less focus on the Ottawa Senators and more focus on this project and what does it mean to Ottawa. Wow. Nose off the cuff.
No, you're
one breath.
Fantastic. This is great. I wish all our interviews could be like this. Funding is a huge word that everybody throws around. How's he get all that stuff? Listen, and then they came out about you hiring consultants, lobbyists, whatever you want to say, and they're at both levels of government. You can see them; they're registered. The argument or the point I have is, if Amazon comes to town, they get government grants to build a warehouse, factory, whatever. Walmart does. Car manufacturers, all that stuff. You're building whatever it is, $1 billion plus facility. I believe government grants should be available to you, but people seem to have this pushback. And I'm like, the amount of money that you guys generate from that building that go back into the city for social services gets overlooked an awful lot. It's just a weird thing of how funding for a massive project gets pushed back.
Yeah, and I think I've heard it's don't give money to a billionaire, and I'm going,
right.
Oh, this has nothing to do with me. Like it's hard. I don't need to own this thing, and I've never I've even said, I said, so for me it's a community asset. And if the timing's not right, then the timing's not right. I get it, but all I want to do is making sure all the cards in front of the table. The thing that upset me about that article was the fact that it was deemed as breaking news, and it was never the case. So we hired Strategy Corp because we wanted to make sure that like I said, we crossed the T's and dotted the I's, and we let all government folks know that this project checks a lot of boxes in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. And are there government programs that, are you interested? Are there programs that can help fund this? Because there's no doubt I can't fund this by myself or my ownership group. There's, it's not feasible. And frankly, I don't, but at the end of the day, what are the rewards for it in terms of economic output and the likes? And those are the things we need to find out. So we're still in the learning process, and it wasn't about going in there and with our hands out. I've never asked anything from government my whole life. If anything, with the sale of my business, I'm probably contributing hundreds of $millions of taxes to the government. And it's funny, I haven't got anybody from the government sending me a Christmas card saying thank you for the hundreds of millions of dollars you're going to give to us in taxes this year. But it's not about me. This is about a community asset, and what does it make sense for this city, in these times. That's it.
I just think revitalizing it is a mess. Anyway, people forget the brand that comes associated with having a pro sports team, and in particular an NHL team in Canada. People talk to me about, oh, you're from Ottawa, the Senators. They don't ask me about, you're from Ottawa, I love Parliament Hill. And so I think people forget of what value the Ottawa Senators or a professional sports team brings to that city. You employ hundreds of people. This isn't, by the way, I didn't bring you on to say, hey, all these great things. You and I have never had a chat about this before. I'm just saying.
No, not at all. It's refreshing to hear your comments, though.
Yeah. And I'm not an apologist for you. I don't understand. Look at Calgary. Look at the money that Calgary's put into their building.
And Michael and Wally's one of the cheapest guys I know. So this is coming from a special place here. All
right, we'll move on. So everybody asked, and I know everybody asks you, when are we going to have a building downtown?
When are we going to have a building downtown?
Yeah. Like, when is this thing going to be built?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I really don't, but we're moving forward and we have some timelines. We have some deadlines. So, I mean, as we know, and I think those are things that, you can ask the NCC and we can ask the city of Ottawa. We can ask, I think one of the things we got to have, like what I said right from the outset, if we could get everybody in one room and hash it out and don't get out until it's done, the timeline would be a lot shorter. But that's not the case. But I'll be patient if I feel it's the right thing. But we got to, we've been in the same facility for the last 30 years and a lot of people being in the same buildings for years. And, like I said, my number one goal was to win the Stanley Cup, and that's my passion. And being part of this community, this great community is important.
Okay. Then I'll say last question before I move on from LeBreton. Is there it won't be done before, is there any chance it's built in the next 3 years?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, next 3 years. I think it takes 2 years and a bit just to build the building once the shovel's in the ground. There's environmental initiatives. It's just a piece of land. There's no infrastructure on that property. So part of the discussions with the city and the NCC, and they're negotiating amongst themselves in terms of, okay, what happens to Preston? Does it stop right there, or does it continue on? What's under the ground? Are there pipelines in there, and the like? So there's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes where we don't hear, which frankly, not really relevant, but we are moving forward.
Okay. Michael, I've heard stuff too. Like, is there an opportunity? If you wanted to get more land around there, is there an opportunity to grab a few more acres?
So to me, it's not relevant. I think to me, it's important to understand what the experience for, a fan coming to a concert or to a game, and its location of the building. Its surrounding areas obviously have a big influence, and I know that the NCC, the Algonquins are in negotiations, and I think for me, it's I'm excited about having the Algonquin Nation involved in this because, as I don't know, as you know, I live near Dow's Lake, and there's a big sign that says Little Italy. A couple hundred yards from where I live, and there's also a sign that says Chinatown. But there's nothing that celebrates Algonquin Nation, and I see this as an opportunity to do something pretty special there as well. So, so the surrounding lands and how it gets built out from a fan's perspective. The neat thing about this arena is it's right between the two LRT stations.
Yeah.
And everything, and we would have, and that includes the land that we bought, and except for a little area. But I think if we can make that fan experience, with the right commercial and restaurants and create and it's not, it's things that we can rip off and duplicate in other areas. I went to Atlanta and saw the Battery. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah.
It's an incredible destination, and you have more people. I went to a Braves game, and there were more people in the Battery area, the restaurants and other area, than there were inside the stadium on that particular day. So which is really neat. So those are areas where we'll look at. That's what we want. That's what we want to accomplish. Obviously, Edmonton's done a great job with their arena, and I guess if you call an Edmontonian and ask them if they're pissed off that they that was built and that wasn't just privately built, I think they'll tell you otherwise. So
Calgary will be the same way. We got to move on. You got to get the LRT to work, but that's a whole other story. We'll just ignore that for now. We just showed a rendering,
working, isn't it?
Well, ask me tomorrow. You never know. The rendering, we just showed a picture of an old rendering of the arena downtown. Do you have a design done look?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if have you released it?
We do. Yeah, we do.
Okay. Are you excited the way it looks? Like
super excited. Super excited. Yeah, I think I've spent millions of dollars in this on this project already, and I've got nothing for it. But like I said, we have one chance to do this right. I want this to be a legacy thing for the city, and I think in due time some renderings will be shown in short order.
Okay. What's that picture you just put up? Where'd you get that?
That's from 2022, maybe before. I think that's before Michael took over, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
23. I took over in 23. 2 years and 3 months ago.
But I think that photo, if I'm not mistaken, that's not your rendering. If I'm not mistaken, that's before you came in.
Probably. I mean, this LeBreton project has been on and off a bunch of times, right?
Yeah. Yes, I covered the very first rendezvous, LeBreton. Back to your old barn or your current barn, you're going to replace all the seats in the 200 and I think 300 next year. I'm just curious what other upgrades. This is a weird time for you. You've got a building that you're trying to move out of, but you still got to try to keep it current and up to date for the fans who are going to experience it now. So how do you budget that, and what do you do next, and how do we replace the scoreboard? Because I hate it.
You know what? Why don't you have a fan survey or whatever? Let's do that. And there's no doubt. I actually asked Cyril that question, and I said, because I looked at the scoreboard and I thought, you go to other venues and it's, there's more information on it. I think we could probably do more on our game day, but the seats. At the end of the day, everything's for our fans. You've heard me say it; they're our lifeblood. So to me, when I looked at somebody who's paying $100 plus for a level 100 seat, geez, at least give them a cup holder, and make sure that that there's those seats were 30 years old. So I look at it from the eyes of a fan. What's my experience going to be like? The food that we eat, the food choices that we have, that we outsource to another company today. And so I look at it from a fan's perspective. It's a great venue. There's not a bad seat in that house to watch the game if you're like me, just focusing on the game. But for other fans, they want an experience that is, so we'll continue to continually improve it. And that's not, to me, it's not money that's being thrown away. I think it's important that their fans have the right experience.
So are you going to replace the scoreboard?
Put a survey out and see, ask them if that's money if it's well worth it. If they were the government, would they spend money on the scoreboard?
Listen, I did hear an interesting thing though, and you may already know this. In Calgary, I believe they installed recently a new scoreboard, but they are going to use part of it and reassemble it in the new building. So I think you can like rent stuff. And anyway, I was just curious.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'll listen to you. You're a fan. I saw you. You're a fan like me. I was watching, another podcast. And what I love about this city, like I've said it before, is so authentic. We live and breathe. We feel for this team and how they perform. And yesterday, you had the stupid panic button ready to press. Right? Like, are you kidding me? But then again, I was. After the New Jersey game at midnight, I should show you the text I sent to Steve, and I'm like, I was pissed off. I was, we let that one get away, but we're so passionate, and I love it. I love it about our fans. They're so passionate.
So did you bring the panic button out when I was gone, Wally?
Yeah, I did.
Listen, I brought it out just to show as an example of what it's like.
Oh boy! I leave you alone. I leave you alone for 2 shows, and you're bringing that stupid thing
out. Quickly, the TV deal. Is there going to be an announcement soon that you have something? I know you're in the last year of the deal. I know it's been negotiations for a while. Do we expect anything new soon?
Not really. The negotiations haven't been for a while, Wally. But Bell has an exclusive. I think it's till December 15th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. To be told. I think there's an exclusive to December 15th, and like to be able to announce it. They've been super busy, and we've extended it out of respect for them because they've been super busy. A lot of their contracts came up this year. Whether it be CFL or other Winnipeg's deal and the like, so they all seem to be coming out at the same time. So they've been super busy, and obviously there's the NHL, part of the NHL contract TV rights that is still outstanding in some areas, so including the French rights. So yeah.
Okay. Quickly before we go, do you do your own Christmas shopping? Are you done?
I do it. I do it quickly, and I'm in and out. And and I'm not done. I haven't even started.
Here's a question for the two of you, because Yorkie wasn't on the last show. Maybe you've heard this question. If you had to give up one or the other, for the rest of your life, would you give up cheese or chocolate?
Oof.
Can you give me another choice? Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, I love pasta, and you got to have the Parmesan cheese, and then keep the chunk afterwards with your glass of wine afterward. But I am a bit of a chocoholic. Man.
I need cheese. I'm giving up chocolate as much as I love it, because a good cheese with some nice wine, pizza, grilled cheese sandwich.
Imagine a pizza without cheese,
right? Right there, that's enough for me right there, Wally. I love my pizza. I'm giving up chocolate as much as it pains me.
You guys know what this is? That's a row of Chips Ahoy cookies. And that's what I have before going to bed.
You hammer some Chips Ahoy before bed.
I guess I'll have to go with a dad's oatmeals, All right, I'll go with cheese too.
Okay. It's tough. Anyway, by the way, I thought you might call in the other day I knew you weren't going to make it to the telethon because you were busy, but I thought you might call in because we were giving away mugs and T-shirts if you called in and asked for me or Graham, and you didn't do it. Very disappointed.
Actually, you know what? I saw that Silver Fox on the air there on the phone, hogging all the TV. I didn't see Graham actually. I think he was stuck in the corner or something. I don't know. I didn't see.
He put him in the corner. Yeah.
But you were front. You were front and center. But you know what? Thank you. All I can say is thank you. That's the beauty about this community. We're all for one, and including members of the media and Wally, we love you. I don't care what Yorkie says. We love you.
Yeah.
That's the only part of the show we're going to clip. The I love you part.
Okay. That's been on for too long.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I thank you for your time. I know it's a busy time of year. I appreciate you letting us bother you for another. Oh, by the way, you do earn a mug now. You've been on 3 times.
Yes.
So I will get you a mug.
Thank you so much, guys. Happy holidays. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, Michael. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, what a way to have a fireside chat.
I think he was genuinely fired up to get to know he's going to release you. Are you going to hand deliver it? Are you going to go over to Dallas Lake and knock on the door?
I have had it in the back of my car I thought he would have been at the telethon and I was going to hand it to him. Or he's usually at most games, but he's been busy. And so it's board of governors and all that stuff. So I will get him his mug.
Yeah.
Do you think he uses it though?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's like, if he's a chocoholic, there's nothing better than chocolate with coffee. That's my go-to. Little coming in hot mug with your coffee, a little chocolate. I like my chocolates before we go on the air. That's my go-to. We have a 4:00 show. I'm having my second or third coffee of the day and a couple of those. You ever have a Lindor chocolate, Wally? From the
red ones?
Yeah, you go to the outlets in Canada and you get the big bag and you fill it up.
We do the red ones. I only like the red, but
I'm a hazelnut.
Speaking of
hazelnut.
Oh yeah. Okay. What about Ferrero Rocher?
Yeah, I like a good Ferrero Rocher. They're just pumping out the commercials right now too. Yeah, we'll always have a couple boxes of those under the tree. Yeah,
Lisa puts a bowl out at Christmas. We're allowed to have some at Christmas. I laughed at you the other day as you were away.
Oh yeah.
On Thursday, I spent 4 hours delivering mugs to people in the city of Ottawa.
Just the magic of mugs. People just what do people say when you show up with a mug? Is it like a face of joy when you hand them their mug?
They're genuinely surprised it's me. They're like, "Oh, I figured you'd probably get a real person to deliver it." No, just me. From Dunrobin to Orleans. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So
yeah,
I gotta get you.
All right.
Okay.
That was
we'll
fun.
See you.
That was. This is gonna become a thing now for us. We're gonna continue these fireside chats. You need like a header or something with the wood, a couple Yuletide logs, some eggnog.
So, I'll wait till Monday to talk about your trip and to see if you had mulled wine. But maybe we should have some mulled wine sometime. Yorkie. Okay. See you Monday afternoon, everybody. Until then, Shane Knighty will join us. Take care. Thanks to Michael Andlauer for stopping by.
Yep. See you later.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.